What if your next strategic planning session didn't involve a single slide deck, but instead your team was building their ideas, literally building with their hands? Stay with me because this is where things get really interesting. Welcome to Build Better Teams, the podcast for leaders who want to improve collaboration, strengthen communication, and create real alignment inside their teams. Here we explore team building strategies, leadership development, and hands on approaches like Lego Serious Play that help teams think, build, and solve problems together. Let's get started so you can lead more effective, aligned, and engaged organizations. Welcome back to the Build Better Teams podcast. I'm your host, Shannon Russell. I am a strategic leadership and team facilitator certified in the Lego Serious Play method. Now, when people first hear about Lego Serious Play, they usually think one of two things. Either this sounds fun or building with Legos. And the truth is, it's kind of both. But more importantly, it works. I've been certified in Lego Serious Play since 2018, and I've had the honor and privilege of working with small and large organizations across industries, from large hospitals to pharmaceutical companies to nonprofits to small women's only organizations. And I've worked with companies that are anywhere from 5 people to 120 people. No matter the size, no matter the type of company, the idea is that these partners of mine have all wanted to strategically plan for the future or create an activity that brings their team members together for real collaboration so that they can move their work forward. Most meetings or retreats or offsites or workshops, they all rely heavily on talking. And talking has its limits. Not everyone contributes. There's always someone who stays quiet. There's always someone who dominates the conversation. And in these meetings, ideas stay abstract. They're general, right? They're just, this would be great to do this. But the conversations are often not action focused. And they're dominated by those few voices that always speak up, which means that you don't get a full picture of what's going on in the heads of your team members. What makes Lego Serious Play different is that it's a hands-on methodology where each participant builds models to represent their ideas, their challenges, and their goals. They build something 3D using Lego bricks to show to others. So they're taking their ideas, building it, and visually showing that to others, which causes conversation and causes communication. This is where something powerful happens. Every time I facilitate a workshop like this, I see everyone, I don't want to say rolling their eyes when they find out we're building with Lego. Some are excited. Some might be like, I haven't done this in years. But the idea is that they all get quiet. Recently, I did a leadership retreat, an offsite for 120 people. And I'm telling you, that room got so quiet. The second I gave them a prompt and told them what to start building, it just was silent. Because you go from talking to thinking. You're allowed to get those ideas from your head, work them through your hands. You make your ideas visible, and you give everyone a voice. It's magic. Here's why it's so effective. Because, like I said, everyone participates. There's no hiding, there's no checking your phone. Everyone in that meeting is building. They get the same bricks, they're starting from the same space, they get the same prompt or direction from me, and they build. And then they all share. Everyone is getting their thoughts, their ideas out there, and they're getting their voice heard. It also is effective because it levels the playing field. Titles disappear, what you do disappears, it's your ideas that matter. And it also unlocks a deeper way of thinking. People access insights that they wouldn't reach through conversations because now they're allowing themselves to be a little bit more creative, to use their imagination, to utilize their creativity, and to build something through these bricks. What's really cool about the bricks that are in these kits that I use is that they're all very unique and very different. They're all the same for each person, but they're not typical 2x4, 1x1 bricks. Instead, they're really interesting pieces, and everyone can look at a piece and it can represent something different to them. And that's what's really fun as they're choosing the bricks to use in their 3D model. We're curious as facilitators about what the meaning behind the building might be. And so then when they have that conversation and they start sharing and presenting their build, it's really eye-opening and the light bulbs go off and you say, "Oh, that makes so much sense now." It really just unlocks that deeper thinking. And then it creates that shared understanding because instead of assuming what someone else on your team might be thinking, you're actually seeing it. So instead of assumptions, teams are seeing the same thing. They're leaving this meeting on the same wavelength. They're all understanding the same thing. Ultimately, after whether it's a strategic planning session or a team building activity, you will walk away with more clarity, with stronger alignment, and with better decisions that are able to be made because the team isn't just talking about strategy, they're actually building it together. Depending on the workshop, sometimes you're building an individual model, and then other times you're actually building a model together with a larger team. And that's where you really get to see the teamwork happening and you get to have fun with it. Still, everyone's participating, everyone's sharing ideas. Maybe someone's sharing an idea and someone else is building it, but you're all collaborating together. In my work, I've seen teams go from completely misaligned, not really understanding each other, to walking out with that clear direction and that shared vision. And it can happen in as short as 1 to 2 hours because they are experiencing the goal setting, they're experiencing the planning, they're experiencing the strategy, not just discussing it. They're seeing it visually, they're making a plan and seeing how you can actually go from point A to point B. You're seeing it in front of you with the bricks and the model that you made. So it's not something that's just being discussed. You're actually experiencing it. And that's what's going to lead you to actually taking action after your time together. In a world where everything seems more digital, more automated, more AI driven, this human hands on approach really stands out. And Lego Serious Play does this without the use of digital, without the use of AI, without technology at all. It's a human with another human building with pieces of plastic to create something special that they can then bond over and create their strategy to move their team or company forward. To learn more about the Lego Serious Play method and the workshops that I facilitate for teams and organizations, go to buildbetterteamsconsulting.com. I'll link to it in the show notes below so you can click on it. You'll be able to see some images from past experiences that I have facilitated, and you'll get to learn a little bit more about the methodology. And if your team feels a little stuck, misaligned, or spinning in conversations that aren't going anywhere, it might not be a strategy problem. It might be a thinking problem. With Lego Serious Play, you literally think with your hands. If you are curious about how this could work for your team, or if you're planning a strategic session or an offsite, this is what I help organizations design and facilitate. And I would love to chat with you. You can book a free strategy call and we can discuss your goals for your team over the next year or so. I want to thank you for being here and for listening to the Build Better Teams podcast. And make sure you follow the show for more ways that you can build better teams. I am your host, Shannon Russell, and I will chat with you on the next episode of the Build Better Teams podcast.